I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that don't believe in the Marvel Mystery Oil or the Seafoam, and you know, that's okay, to each their own. But when I do a tune-up on a car, I like to use either Seafoam or Marvel Mystery Oil, and I've got proven results. You can see there's many YouTube videos out there where they get proven results. It does work. Definitely doesn't hurt anything, so you know, if y'all are scared that it's going to hurt something, it doesn't. It don't like dry out any of your seals or anything like that. But you know, to me, this right here shows you it's working. But you know, you can see there's a bunch of YouTube videos that shows you before and after pictures of where it cleaned. I'll try to remember to leave a link to the guy. I think his name is Project Craftsman or something like that. He does some very detailed videos about this versus that, or you know, does this work, and it takes compression readings and stuff like that, that you know, actually proves that the stuff works. He's got an excellent channel and excellent information. I'll try and remember to link that below. But anyway, I've just did a tune-up on this car, and now I'm running the Marvel Mystery Oil through there. I do want to point out that this car was running really rough. It was running pretty bad and had a pretty rough idle, and the whole car was shaking. Now, when you get it down the road, the thing was running great, but it had a really rough idle. Now, I've not had this stuff in there long, and it's already smoothed the idle out on this car. Now, is it going to stay like that? We're going to find out. But so far, it's already smoothed my idle out. Okay, guys, like always, I got excited and got ahead of myself and started tearing this car apart without taking video. So all I've done is I took this off, which is obviously you got to loosen this screw up here. You got to take this one out, and there's a clip on this that's down here, and you just got to raise that up like I did and pop it off. And then of course it's easier for me to show you with this out of the way. There's another screw collar right there that you'll have to loosen up. And then all I did is pop this off, and then this metal tray was sitting right there. And there's, see them two holes, the two bigger holes right there, and then one on that end. So there's just the three big, you know, two of them's a nut and one of them's a bolt. The second one right there is the bolt. So you just take that plate off and move the plate out of the way, and then you can get to the fuel rail right here. And on this fuel rail, there are two 10mm bolts. See this? On the back side of that, I won't be able to get the camera down in there, but on the back side of that, there's a 10mm bolt. And same thing on the back side of this one here. You take them two 10mm bolts off, and that should be all it takes to get that fuel rail out. The issue I'm having here is I've got a cylinder number 2, which is this cylinder on this particular engine. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 on this one. I've got a cylinder number 2 Misfire. Now, I've replaced the spark plugs, I've replaced the plug wires, and I have checked the compression, and all of it is good. So my next thing to look for is the fuel injector on that particular cylinder. So I'm going to pop this fuel rail off, and I'm going to look at that fuel injector and see what it looks like. I'm expecting to have a bad fuel injector there, or a dirty fuel injector, one of the two. All right, those two 10mm bolts were all that was holding it on. You do have to pry out kind of hard, because the O-rings that hold these injectors in on the bottom, they're in pretty good. So this is my number 2 injector right here. I'm going to grab a screwdriver, pop this clip right here off, get this fuel injector out so we can see what's going on. All right, I know y'all aren't going to be able to see this very well, but putting the leads on the tester, you'll be able to hear it. You won't be able to see anything coming out. Not getting anything. There we go. Okay, so the injector is firing. Now I gotta get it closer to something and see if I can look at the firing, how it's firing. I just put the fuel rail back on. Unfortunately, I didn't find anything inherently wrong with the injectors. It worked on the test. It was firing correctly. I didn't pay too much attention to the spray pattern because I knew since I had it out I was going to clean it anyway. So I ran quite a bit of fuel injector cleaner through it. When I put it back together, I put some Marvel Mystery Oil, just a very little bit, down each one of the injector holes. And I'm going to let that sit there for a good half an hour or more. Unfortunately, somebody else has already had that idea before I bought this car, and they thought that was a problem. And I can tell you the reason why I say that is because when I pulled that injector out, I found on top of it a stamp that said 2019. So that means somebody has been in here very recently and replaced the injectors. Also, unfortunately, while I was back there, let me see if I can show you. I don't know how well you can see that on camera, but all of that is new sealant, which means that somebody also has been under that valve cover. I don't know exactly what they were trying to do in there. Maybe they just replaced the valve cover because it was leaking, or the valve cover gasket because it was leaking. I don't know. I'm gonna have to track it down.